everybody, and welcome back to the Velma Fan Club Podcast. Now, you might think that's an ironic thing we say around here, but I think we might genuinely have the world's biggest Velma fan, sincerely, and that, of course, is Florian the Yuck Yummer Himsel.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this amazing mystery plays out. We got a big piece of the puzzle today, with all the brains, so it's just amazing that they went there.
Florian, on Sundays you can't really enjoy Sunday because the week is coming up. Do you feel that about the last two episodes of Velma, that the show's almost over and you're about to not have any more?
Rich, first of all, you're speaking to a man who has not experienced Sunday night blues once in his entire life. This is a man who's unemployed.
I forgot!
How dare you, okay?
Every day of his life is Saturday.
Look, I relish every Monday that comes, okay? The stock market opens, the stores are open, everyone is willing to work for me, It's not like those useless weekends where nothing happens, except for podcasts, I guess. That's the only silver lining.
And the man who refuses to interrupt anybody because he's a true gentleman, the Kino Corner.
Hey guys, continue fighting. I always like it when E-Rich makes fun of Florian.
Maybe I do need to turn up Kino. That was super quiet. I'm going to blast him to 200 quiet. Real quick. Okay, now we're good.
Maybe
that was a long introduction of of me and E-Rich,
Oh yeah, Kino is a man of few words.
Florian, if you were to evict one of your tenants, which day would you do it?
I don't personally evict them. I got a company doing all that for me, okay?
Oh my god. You outsource everything.
I was thinking about Florian this week. In the shower?
Well,
okay. Outside of how I normally think about him. But I was thinking about him this week because Austin has been completely shut down. We had an ice storm, and literally just like trees were all over the roads. I was out of power for a day. My friends are still all out of power. All the stores are closed. Like still, this is like 4 days later. It's not even that cold out now. It's like 50 degrees, but it was like 31 degrees. Ice storm coming down, power's out, and I was walking outside, and I was thinking, you know what? I bet Florian would still evict somebody with these conditions.
Well, if they aren't paying their rent.
We actually have like tons of protections. It's actually really hard to evict them whenever. I mean, you can only do it like when they're.
Guys, can we talk about Velma? What the fuck?
Expires.
What are we talking about? Guys, it's the Velma podcast. E-Rich, what did you think of episode 7 and 8 of Velma?
I really cannot stand this show at this point, if only because the constant fucking reset of Velma learning a lesson at the end of the episode, and then you start the beginning of the next episode and she reverts right back to the bullshit she was doing before. It is truly maddening to watch.
Well, is that not an accurate... It's an accurate representation of a...
going on.
Isn't it an accurate teenage girl, having to relearn the same lessons over and over again until she emerges into womanhood?
I think that's just Mindy Kaling for her entire life.
She doesn't actually learn a lesson. What are you talking about?
Oh, the lesson
literally at the end of the 7th episode, she learns that she should respect Velma or listen to her when she's trying to tell her something, and then the next episode opens and she has not learned anything. It drove me insane.
Okay,
okay, guys, can we just all agree that episode 7 was written by some dumb woman who doesn't know what it's like to be a man and has never had to live the incel lifestyle?
Yeah, I think this might be the absolute worst social commentary the most brain dead, lacking any awareness of reality at all I've ever seen in anything ever made. Episode 7, Velma disguises herself as a man, and I guess it comes to the conclusion that in American society, 5-foot-tall Indian men are the most respected and beloved, and everybody will listen to everything they have to say and tell them how cool they are. Now, I don't know if the writers at Velma have ever had to live life as a manlet, but there is a 0% chance this human would earn respect from anybody.
What are you talking about? I constantly Ah, fine.
You don't have a place to talk here, okay? We have to consult Artsy. Artsy is the only person that we know.
Yeah, he's the
Artsy is
brownest
keeper of
midget
the
we
ancient
know.
flame of manlitdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? No, we're all short. You're the only tall one. Well,
What?
you and
Everidge is tall.
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah, just Kino and Everidge. Everyone else is short, okay?
Yeah. Compared to Kino, everybody on Earth is short.
Hey, I revel...
I'm the Hyperborean.
I revel in my male privilege every day of being a manlet, okay? It exists.
How tall are you, Florian? I always forget this.
I'm like 5'7", maybe. I'm fairly short. Oh yeah, you think that's funny? How you?
I don't know why. I just always pictured you like towering over me.
I will.
He has money.
I will punch
he's
you
on his like
ass.
pile of money
Maybe.
that. He's on his pile of money wearing his big landlord shoes.
Every $1 million you make adds a half an inch to your height.
I think you should
It's
take
fine.
away.
Well, maybe I'm actually kind of tall. I'm just really hunched over. I don't know.
Guys, would you mind if I
Florian learns to.
I need to do
learns to
some
stand up
fact
straight and
checking.
gains like 6 inches.
I've got some fact checking for this Velma episode real quick so I can put these chuds in their place. Velma says, and I quote, "As a guy, there are so little consequences for your actions." Now, would anybody care to guess which gender makes up 93% of the prison population? Just a wild guess if you had to.
Oh, it's a pretty hard guess.
It's sexy lesbians.
Which gender, by a 9-to-1 ratio, is being punished for their actions more?
Would you say that
Well, is that really a good argument?
they make up only 50% of the population, but they commit 93% of the
Am I expected to believe men are really committing that many more crimes than women? Or perhaps,
Yes, you should expect that.
perhaps
I
could
think-
it be that our society and our system of law might be biased against men a little bit more than women? Could it be?
I think because of their proportional criminality, men should start out in prison and then have to work their way out.
Yeah, they have to earn their good boy points to get
I
out.
would say the better place to look is also at family courts. Like who gets the kids even if they're completely unfit.
Oh, 99% of the time it's women? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Somebody should let the Velma writers know.
Do you
Also,
actually have
yeah.
stats on that? Like,
Also, you're playing as a short Indian dude and you somehow get like treated better than hot young women.
Yeah, not a fucking
no.
chance. Even hot men are treated worse than hot women.
yeah, it's a little wrong, okay? Women actually only get
It's a lot of wrong.
Well, they get treated pretty badly, like when they hit 30, okay? Like before then, they're like princesses, okay?
No,
But
even after 30, it's like when they actually start to shrivel up and kind of, get raisin face. That's when they actually get treated bad.
MILFs get tons of action, Florian.
nobody talks about men that way. Like that, we don't shrivel up. And,
Yes, they
become
do.
pathetic.
Hey, when Humpty
No.
Dumpty hit the wall, nobody gave a fuck about him.
That's a creepy old man. I can't believe that 35-year-old man is trying to hit on that 27-year-old woman. Ugh. Think about the age gap and the power difference. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, I don't hear that too much.
So,
Fucking hear it.
hey, Florian, we have listed all the stats and reasons why the satire and the social commentary on the dynamics of men and women in society was lacking in this episode of the Velma cartoon. Would you care to give a counter argument why Velma is right and 5-foot-tall Indian men are actually praised and loved by everybody?
Well, I mean, I think this. Well, I guess it's a pretty hard one. Okay, pretty.
Just like me when
Hard
I'm
to
watching
defend.
Velma, am I right, boys?
Well, why can't we just enjoy this display of sexism towards man? Okay, like you always tell me how you love sexism in comedy, and so surely you love this, right? This works great. doesn't it?
No, actually, sexism is a power and privilege, so that would be reverse sexism.
I think this episode is trying to tell us that Velma is a trans man.
Uh-oh.
And he's
We have
feeling
to
his
accept
gender euphoria for the first time.
Well, at the very
really-
least, the episode had some commentary about Indian women, because when Velma's mustache gets ripped off, she says, "That wasn't a fake, that's just my real mustache I didn't shave."
Yeah.
Which is fucked.
Well, it's just Velma, okay? Velma is just this grotesque beast in the show for some reason.
I just want to point out that the show completely contradicts itself too.
No way.
Oh, yes way.
Was he being sarcastic when he said
this
that?
This show contradicts itself? What?
Yeah, it's impossible. You must have misunderstood.
Come on, Velma is airtight at all times.
But if being a short Indian man was like essentially coming down as like a Greek god, right, to the stupid plebeian masses, then wouldn't her dad not be some beta cuck that's always getting like just shat on and just used by the women around him?
Well, I guess he doesn't have her confidence.
It's almost like the commentary they wanted to make was that Velma became a 6-foot-tall white man, but like they're making commentary as if that's what she is, but it just doesn't work when you're a fucking manlet.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, she became the Kino corner, and then everybody loved her.
Well, I think this is a message that a lot of people have to learn, which is that confidence is key. She is very confident when she is acting like a man, and a lot of people's problems is not being confident, uncomfortable with themselves, and that comes out. People can tell.
Which I think your transgender theory might have a lot more credence than maybe first put, because if she is way more confident in the clothes of a man and identifying as a man, maybe that could be the message here.
Yeah.
I just got to say that Milan, did this little gender bending just a lot better. But
you're talking
how
the
did
live
you say
action
Mulan
movie?
there?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the
You
live
sounded
action.
like you said
Milan.
Milan, the city of Milan.
Oh yeah, Milan. There's that's a big fashion place. Haute couture. There's a lot of kind of gender bending going on in the high fashion circles.
Yeah, I'm surprised you liked that Mulan remake.
It's his favorite movie.
Hell yeah.
That was his favorite movie of 2020.
Whenever
very well could be.
I forget the year it came out, but it's a timeless film, so it might as well have come out any other year.
Is it true they filmed that down the street from actual concentration camps?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's great. Bravo, Disney.
Disney. Yeah. This guy's hired. This VFX guy's hired just to
digitally remove the slaves
digitally
in the
remove the
background.
concentration camps from the background. we have a straggler on coming on.
And somebody escaped.
Can you just digitally remove him?
Or add like a CGI dragon over his body. Do we have any thoughts on these Velma episodes other than the gender shit?
Okay, yeah. So so episode 7 is essentially about this prom thing, but it's called like Fog Night or the Fog Ball or something like that, and it's basically like this big carnival that's also a dance. I guess it's like a mix between a prom and like a fair and carnival.
Fog Fest.
Fog Fest. Yeah. So it's this huge festival that is supposed to be spooky or something. And people think that the serial killer is a ghost. For some reason, they think that it's just a ghost and everything is okay, and that actually the serial killer is gone, which doesn't make any sense. I don't remember that from the last episode, but maybe it's just because these episodes are
even if it's a ghost that actually kills people, like how is that comforting?
It's even more dangerous, arguably.
Well, I guess the point was that staying home didn't help. Yeah,
you can kill a serial killer, but you can't kill a ghost because it's already dead. But anyways,
that's what we can do.
It opens with like them, Velma and her dad walking in and seeing Velma's dad's
baby mama
or baby mama, dead, and then like on blood on the wall, it's like, will you go to the Fog Fest with me? And and she gets up and she's like, oh yeah, this is just a thing, it's like this basically horror themed like prom sort of thing. Anyways, it's really just a setting to have people at a carnival and to have like all these different stories going on at the same time, all these parallel stories, and also just to do the same Fog King joke over and over again, which is Fog Queen and Fog King and it's like, oh yeah, doesn't Fog King sound like fucking? Isn't that funny?
Yeah, Gigi says to Shaggy, like, oh, I bet you'd be great at Fog King. Like, I don't even know if this grammatically makes sense.
It's such a fucking stretch as a joke, as a like sound-alike thing. Oh man.
But Florian, you thought it was hilarious, so let's hear about it.
Hell yeah. I also like the joke where the fog just makes everything mystically appear and reappear.
Yeah, that was one of the good jokes in this episode.
Now, did you guys
the fog changing shit?
Did you guys like or hate what I considered to be the best moment of the entire show so far? And that is when they start playing music from the original OST of the show, and they're doing the hallway gag where they're running at random doors. I've realized the original Scooby-Doo, it is genuinely good. Like, just the nostalgia I got from that music. Like, it's what a good show. And the fact that they even acknowledged in this episode, I wrote down the line, they say something along the lines of, let's see, a beloved cartoon compared to a, what did they say? A fun reimagining or something, or like...
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so
it seems like they were coming for themselves with that.
Well, but, okay... I was thinking about
playful. They said playful reimagining. I wanted to get that right. Sorry, Kino. But my question to you, if this show views itself as a playful reimagining of Scooby-Doo, is that accurate in any way? Is the word they're looking for spiteful?
It isn't. It's clearly meant to be playful.
I feel it's spiteful.
I feel like it's gotten less spiteful as the series has gone along.
But they're reincorporating bits of Scooby-Doo into the show as they kind of go, and that happens in the next episode, especially.
But I was thinking about the hallway scene after I watched this last night, and that it's like, okay, this is them doing Scooby-Doo, but what really kind of didn't make that scene work for me is that it's doing it while like winking at the audience. It's not doing it and like just allowing it to be like this wholehearted like embrace of Scooby-Doo. It has to like wink at us and basically be like, oh, how are we doing this? How is this even possible? And I don't know.
It's kind of like in the Marvel movies when they make fun of the characters' names as if it's from a comic book.
Yeah, it's like, just be genuine about it. Just go for it 100%. Don't like wink to us and be like, wow, this is like ridiculous, isn't it, guys? And it's like, that ruined it for me.
Yeah, this is a cartoon where they literally fall off a cliff and get smashed by a boulder as part of the plot, but then they have to somehow explain why they're running through doors in a hallway.
Yeah.
You're a cartoon, just fucking embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that boulder was very strange.
Okay, so the other, to still speak about this episode, the other thing that completely contradicts Velma's whole gender commentary is the fact that, Fred has to become the Fog King, or else his parents won't let him go back to their house.
That is good.
And Fred is having like the most difficult time becoming Fog King, despite being the most popular person, and despite being a cis white male, whereas Velma's, or Manny is what she calls herself.
Well, he is very stupid. Like, he just throws money at people, and I guess that
usually
work.
works.
Yeah, you can buy my vote.
Yeah, you give me like $100. Yeah, sure. I don't give a fuck about who the Fog King is.
It's weird how nobody cares for the money, but like he hurts them with the money, so it's very strange. He has like no grasp of it, and also I guess this money doesn't seem to have any value.
Also, I guess that Scooby is now kind of a sociopath.
Scooby?
Wait, Scooby doesn't.
No, Scooby, Shaggy, Norville.
Why do you think he's a sociopath?
I like him less and less as the show goes on.
He wanted to win the Fog King thing, so he pushed Gigi into the water to pretend to save her to one up Manny to get the Fog King.
Was that actually Gigi? I feel like it was someone else.
No. It was Gigi.
Was it a little girl? Because I remember a little girl saying she was.
It was a little
pushed.
girl.
No. Didn't he push Gigi in?
Well, he asked Gigi, and then she apparently didn't go for it, so he used the little girl.
Okay, well...
Yeah, because the little girl later says, I was pushed when they're talking about...
Yeah, okay, yeah. So he pushed the little girl off the pier, to then be like, I'm gonna save her, and then, oh yeah, he's gonna be Fog King now. So, okay, I guess he's just a little bit of a psycho.
Does that cover pretty much everything from episode 7? Should we go to episode 8?
Yeah, well, the one plot point is that in the whole like kerfuffle that happens near the end, Fred ends up with a serial killer's phone, which allows them to do what they do in episode 8.
I did want to mention that Velma notes that she was a flat earther in this episode.
I think I missed that part.
I wish we would have gotten flat earther Velma.
God, could you imagine? Yeah, I guess that would be pretty good. The prequel.
So in episode 8, they jump around in time a lot, like back and forth, and they compare themselves to Quentin Tarantino. How did you feel about that one, Kino?
I'm not the biggest Quentin Tarantino fan.
Well, how did you feel about that one, E-Rich?
It is a curse and a true. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to
What'd you think of that one, Florian, for fuck's sake? Somebody needs to have a take right now.
I think it's great that Quentin Tarantino gets some attention from audiences.
What? I'm glad that Velma is finally shining some light on Tarantino. He could use
I'm glad that the guy whose movies are like all in the IMDb top 250 is finally getting a little bit of attention.
but seriously, isn't it great how these classic movies just inspire further generations of series and
further generations? This movie's made by old people.
God damn it!
The movie
it's fresh. It just came out. It doesn't matter. Well, yeah, I guess you're right.
The thing that the Quentin Tarantino fandom needs is a fresh influx of Velma fans.
True. I think there's a big overlap between the two communities.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction was okay, but it sure was no Velma.
True. It was nothing like Velma. I will give you that one.
I actually thought that the comparison was extremely pretentious.
No way.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah.
And the episode was just so shitty and boring. It's like, oh, we're all gonna go out into a cabin in the woods and have arbitrary relationship drama, and then fall into a cliff.
And then they compare themselves to Danny Boyle a little bit later by comparing their situation to 127 Hours.
Oh yeah.
Except with a more diverse cast. It's like
there's one man in the film. It's just James Franco.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
For fuck's sake.
Although, anybody who's seen 127 Hours knows that there is a Scooby-Doo reference in that movie.
That's right. He has a dream that he runs to a Scooby-Doo house party.
Yep.
And then he wakes up and it just was not true.
Wow.
And they even played the Scooby-Doo theme song in the movie, too.
Mm-hmm.
Great film.
Yeah,
but
just
to
some
compare...
inferior film bringing up old beloved franchises, right?
But to compare the show to Danny Boyle and Tarantino, I felt like was extremely pretentious, and it was them trying to tell the audience, guys, we're taking this show very seriously. Like, look, we went to Reddit/r movies, and we saw the movies that the people like there, and we're trying to be like those movies. And I don't know, like I get the whole like going backwards and forwards, like with flashbacks, and it did. I mean,
the reason to do that is that the core of their episode is very, very boring, and it's just a lot of conversation. So in order to make that exciting, you like chop it up and like put things in different orders so that it makes it seem like it's interesting.
Yeah, if you saw the whole episode in chronological order, it would definitely be the most boring episode by far. Like, this is the only gimmick they had.
Yeah, this was definitely just to save the episode from being a complete snooze fest. And even as it stands, it was pretty damn close to being a snooze fest as it was. Even chopped up and with all the gimmick and everything, nothing of real note happens until like the last 2 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, which we should mention.
That's not true at all. What the fuck? The brains come in pretty early.
The brains part was pretty funny. Fred Fred like
also
hitting
a
on
big
various
deal.
brains and.
But that's such
like,
a small B plot. That's the thing.
No, it is. You're right.
No,
Yeah, it's such a small B
I
plot.
swear it was a lot.
It's
It felt
maybe
like a
20 minutes
lot.
of the whole episode.
Well, anyway, they fucking find out that all the crystal caves that Daphne's real parents were hiding out in, they're like, it's underneath the entire city, and that's how the serial killer is getting around and killing people without getting caught. And Fred has been kidnapped by the serial killer from the previous episode, and he's locked up in a room with these jars full of brains from the girls that were killed. And he's like flirting with them and cheating on each brain with the other ones. That is kind of fun. But eventually, when Velma and friends all track it down, the character that Velma has been searching for since episode 1, really out of nowhere with no explanation, unless I missed it, of where she was or what she was doing this whole time.
No, she wasn't even in the room.
Yeah, like Velma's mom just appears in the room to save her from falling.
Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't anywhere.
She wasn't like locked in the room with Fred. So what was she doing?
It makes
Well,
no
I'm sure
sense.
we'll find out in the next episode of Mysteries. I'm sure we'll get a full explanation of what happened.
Well, it does end with Velma's mom saying she has amnesia, and then the preview for the next episode was the doctor says if we don't get back her memories in 72 hours, they will be lost forever, which is the most arbitrary, retarded thing I might have ever heard in my life.
Is that not
It's
how
so
it
dumb.
works?
You have to recover
to
this
reverse
memory in 3 days. Are they lost forever? What do you mean? How are you measuring that? What is the science behind this? What is the medical terminology to explain why this memory will be forever erased like a fucking computer?
Well, clearly it
memory erase. So what's days in Latin?
Days?
I don't-
No, wait, that's not right.
No, Deus is God.
Carpe diem. Right.
Carpe diem. Yeah.
We did
Carpe
it.
Dio, sees the god.
He- they're gonna have to reverse MK Ultra her. I can't wait for the next episode where they have her take a shit ton of acid while in a sensory deprivation chamber to get her to relive her memories.
I could see the show going there. That'd be pretty fun, at least. It's gonna be. That would be better than what they're going to do. I can give you that.
Yeah, probably.
We get the introduction of the mystery machine in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It has
and
not
it's
been painted yet. It's all white.
And it's her mom's van that is just down in the mines.
Yeah, so this woman has a van that she drove into these mines, and I guess she's been living here unrestricted, unrestrained in any way for years.
This mystery is so shoddily constructed that things just happen, and it's like, okay, I guess all of those things were true. She was down in those caverns for years and years and years, and
then
nobody ever knew.
when they are ready to leave, suddenly the cavern is filling up with lava. This shit is so poorly written. It's worse than a Saturday morning cartoon written for literal children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of feel like
Scooby-Doo, the original series, is stronger written.
Because that was meant for everybody to watch. Like back in the day, they didn't make TV for kids. It was just everybody in the whole family sits around your 8-inch television screen and watches whatever pops up on the 2 channels.
yeah, it's it kind of feels like when they're writing the script, they're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? We got to do this. We got to do this, and we have like 2 pages of script left, for this. So we got to do this like fast. And they just like pull all this stuff out of their ass. Just go, it's a Band-Aid. It'll get us to where we need to go for the next episode. That's
I think it's
how
clear
this felt.
When they broke the season, they had an episode where they decided a lot of things had to happen. Like Velma's mom shows up at the end, and she's got the mystery machine and
But it's
like
so
all of this
funny.
other stuff.
It's so funny though that they have this episode where a lot of stuff happens, but it's all contained to like the last.
Yeah, to the very end, rather than
And
making an episode
nothing
about that
happens.
stuff. Yeah.
Nothing happens up until that point. Like for most of the episode, they're trapped by a boulder in a ravine, talking to each other, having some sort of like indie, like we have to talk things out, you know, we all have our issues with each other, and I'm gonna blame you. And now we go to this backstory about how they came up to the mountains and then the little landslide or the cliff broke off, and how they all got to that same place. And it's really about like stupid shit, like how Norval can't take not just a hint, but he can't take his girlfriend literally begging him to have sex with her. And, and that somehow is kind of what gets them, in that situation. And then I guess...
Well, I'll give this opening 20 minutes of the episode one piece of credit, and that was the joke when they're all trapped by the boulder, and the rescue helicopter comes, and the woman comes down just to ask them if they know where Fred is, and then she leaves. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was like the one thing from that I did like, was that she goes down to ask where... You guys know,
and that's a Patrice O'Neill joke, I do believe. Like when a white girl's missing, the whole Coast Guard will be searching, but when it's a black person, they won't even give a fuck.
Yeah.
So halfway decent joke there.
For me, at least, the biggest problem with this show is that all of the relationship drama is so obvious and so insignificant and dumb, and is entirely premised on, like, especially Velma not being able to see enough of her own behavior to do anything about it. But also, she does see it, and she says at the end of the episode she'll change, and then she doesn't.
Well,
why does anyone hang out with her ever?
Well, and it's just like how at the end of episode 7, I wanted to bring this up, how Daphne is, because she thinks that Velma is Manny, and Daphne is talking about how her parents abandoned her, and Velma is still dismissive, and it's like, well, but like, her mom like went missing, so that's kind of a bigger deal, isn't it? And it's like, oh, well, okay, no, your thing is like important too. It's, I'm like, okay, well, 2 parents, I don't know, like her 2 parents are gone, and you still have a parent, and she also knows that her parents like didn't love her, like, I don't know, to me that's like murder, but like Velma's like, well, her mom being missing is like just as important or more.
Well, maybe it's
take even a single minute or a single conversation to listen to Daphne and her problems. She's so fixated on her own.
Well, it might be a political commentary on the concept of oppression Olympics, and we're trying to point out to the people who would be watching Velma unironically, hey, see how annoying it is when you try to prove to everybody how much disprivileged you are and how shitty your life is. Maybe everybody has things they're going through, and stop being so fucking selfish.
Oh my god, you're right. It speaks to me personally, and I see the error of my ways. I'm not the most depressed person at all.
That's right. Wow. That's right. So much to learn.
Thanks, Velma.
Do we have any final thoughts? I'm ready to wrap up Velma this week.
Well, I actually really like the backflash hijinks. Okay, I thought
still saying backflash. That's crazy.
Flashback hijinks. I like some of the jokes. Okay, I like how one time Velma gets cut off by Fred triggering a flashback, and she's like, no, and it just happens.
It's
anyway.
called a backflash.
Yeah.
Is it now?
Yeah, it's a backflash.
It is.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
It'll always get me confused.
You kept saying flashback, and I told you it's backflash. You're saying it backwards.
Now I'm not sure if you're even telling the truth. Oh my god.
You think all 3 of us would lie to you?
I feel it's
Florian, usually when Monkey is fucking with you, I tell you what's true. It's backflash.
Okay.
I can't believe Everich is being so sincere.
Dead serious.
Oh, guys, now that it's the end of the episode, Uwe emailed me back and said Tuesday works best for him.
Oh my god, we're getting Uwe Boll on the fucking show. Wait, he wants to come on for Velma?
Oh my god, that would be best. Yeah, we can show him that comedy is not dead. And
oh my god. Yeah, can you ask him if he'll watch Velma before the podcast?
Florian, if you make him watch Velma, he is going to hunt you down and turn you into a fucking pile of slime. He's gonna fucking put on his boxing gloves and petrify you.
There's no way Uwe Boll would ever come to Austria. I'm sure I'm safe.
I mean, he's in Germany. It's pretty close.
I'm aware. That's the issue.
Okay, hey, Florian, think about this. Uwe Boll famously has made the greatest video game adaptation films of all time. Do you think we could convince him to make an R-rated, or perhaps NC-17, very edgy, very gory, ball frog movie?
Wow. Well, I don't think he'll be in my price range. I think he's going to ask for too much money.
I mean, I don't think you have to pay for it. I think he would pitch this to the studio, and you would get like paid for as a consultant or something.
What a prime opportunity! Make a movie for a game that nobody has played.
but that's how you get more people to play the game.
Yeah, it's the perfect plan.
Okay, we really have to stop this. So do we have any actual final thoughts on Velma before we say goodbye for almost the final time?
Oh, yeah, I will say this, is that however mediocre that Velma was in episodes 5 and 6, where I was like, okay, now it's starting to become just like a whatever kind of boring, mediocre show. It lost that, and it kind of regressed back to like bad commentary and a bit of spitefulness, and it somehow even got like more boring with these two.
More boring when they get stuck in a ravine and find brains and glasses that talk to them. Come on, you're being
that
ridiculous.
Was boring.
No, that wasn't boring.
Yeah, it was. Like the execution of that was terrible.
Yeah, this morning when I was watching the episodes, I was also making some hard-boiled eggs, and I was a little more entertained watching the water slowly start to boil than watching the episode.
This is such a betrayal. I can't believe that you guys are not invested in this great mystery and how it turned out.
Well, even the writers were not invested in the mystery, because the mystery was, where's the mom? And the answer was, she disappeared in the cave. So
yeah, she was just down there the whole time.
It's not really a great mystery.
I swear it's going to be a great mystery in the next episode, okay? We're going to learn all the crazy reasons why it unfolded this way, all right?
Well, that means stay tuned, because 1 week from today, we will be back to review the final 2 episodes of Velma. Do we have any predictions for how this is going to end?
They will get Scooby-Doo in some way, shape, or form.
It has to be
how that's going to show up.
No, it has to be Gigi's brain in a dog. I'm still betting the barn on that one.
I mean, I guess, can you do that? Would that be racist to do?
Yeah, because Velma is so afraid of being racist.
I think that they're gonna paint the. I think that they're gonna paint the that van, Mystery Mobile.
Wow, that's a bold prediction, Kino. I can't believe you were so brave for saying that on air.
I'm very brave. Thank you very much.
Erich, what's your unstoppable prediction that will have to come true?
Gigi is going to die, and then her brain is going to be put in not a dog body, but some other body.
Put in a white person's body, and then they'll say, "Get out." Wait, no, that was the opposite of that movie. I think. I think they were doing the other thing.
That's why they would tell her to get out.
Yeah, because they'll say get in because it's opposite.
Wrong way. Yeah.
Plug some stuff, guys. Kino, you got a new video.
I got a new video on my channel, and I actually, right after we finish recording this, I'm recording a new video that'll be out later next week. So go check out my new video on Stanley Kubrick, and I got a big video coming out next week.
Florian, when is your defense of Justin Roiland video coming out?
Probably not going to cover that one for a while. I made a video. Well, I still have to record it, but I got Rebel to voice act it, and it's about a chat AI hitting on girls on Tinder. So,
oh my god,
for that coming out.
Is this an experiment you actually did with your Tinder account?
Maybe.
Oh my god, I'm surprised you got the initial matches to even pursue the experiment.
Yeah, I guess I did use a picture that was AI generated.
Oh, come on.
What? It's gonna be AI generated. So
I wanted it to be there chatting with you.
Oh, with me? Well, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that would have definitely not gotten the initial match.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. When's that coming out?
Well, hopefully it can be done in either 1 week or 2 weeks. I guess
cool.
We'll see. Yep.
What about you, Erich?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at TZARREVAN, and then on Letterboxd at ERichMcCoy.
And for the Velma Podcast, I have been Velma Dinkley. I'll see you next time, folks.
I've been Fred.
Scooby-Doo.
Does anyone know how edible underwear works?
You're Norville. Shut up.
I'm Norville.
Norval.